And I always thought that having by Jeremiah Pouncey or written by Jeremiah Pouncey would be the absolute hardest thing known to man. And I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me from that point forward. And then in the height of the pandemic is where I found myself having enough time to actually go for it and do it. And that's honestly how a lot that I've been able to do over these years has actually happened. It's not because I planned it all out, which I do plan stuff out, but it's not as if everything that I plan out actually goes to plan. It's more so that I find the time to make what I want happen, and I won't wait for anybody or anything to tell me that I can do something or when is the right time to actually do something. So I honestly just went ahead, had a dream, told some people about it. They thought it was pretty cool, so I was like, why not just go in and write a book? So my very first book that I wrote, Awakening of the End, and written by Jeremiah Pouncey, is still crazy to me. And essentially it's a story of the intertwining lives of 8 students in South Africa that have to fight for their lives against this invisible string that connects everybody, also known as pain. I believe that we all experience pain, and I feel like if we were all able to better empathize and sympathize with one another, then the world would be such a much better place. And that's kind of what gave me the inspiration for my first book. The main character, his basically superpower is to be able to take on the emotional and physical pain of others and then convert that into power to fight evil. And that's kind of like my little, I don't know, play on words, on double entendre. And honestly, it's just really crazy to think about the fact that I've been able to go through this entire process for my future. And I wrote a little note to myself. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, "Keep going, future me." Signed, myself, on October 11th of 2020. Yeah, it's just crazy. The fact that I was able to go forward and do what I needed to do in order to get this book published, I feel like shows a lot of resilience in myself, but also that you don't have to come from a family of authors. You don't have to go to writing school to be able to have your own book. If you have a story, just go through the process and share it. There's so many different platforms I personally use. Amazon's self-publishing platform, and it worked out well for me. And eventually I want to be able to get to a publishing company, but you got to start somewhere. And then that's kind of what led me to my next book, His Burdens, which is a collection of short stories and poems from one of the characters in my first book, actually. So if you read the first book, you'll know who the character is. But yeah, I wanted to get into short story writing and poem writing just to try and improve upon my storytelling skills, as well as begin to build this sort of universe in this world that I've been writing about for these past few years.